Hi there, guys. I'm just doing a bit of a check with my sound system. I'll be on my desktop at the moment. Can you guys hear me loud and clear? We won't have a camera this time, if you guys don't mind. It's just I'm checking. I'm actually literally doing my webinar today on my desk because I've got two screens on my desk. It's easier. Let me just make sure that you guys can see the screen as well. Screen 2, screen 1. Screen 1, screen 2, screen 1. Yep. Okay, I think you guys can see my screen clearly. I'm on the EuroCat at the moment. It's a large screen, so it's easier. Let me just check. Can you guys hear me loud and clear? All good? You can? Testing 1, 2, 3. Let me just make sure. Okay. Loud and clear, brilliant. Okay, good. So we can actually do it like this as well. You guys can see my screen, and so that I don't need to go on to into the conference room. And also my here is just that we don't have the camera, but it's loud and clear. You guys can see my screen. That's good enough. Okay, brilliant, good. Thank you, Alfred. Okay, let me just check. What else do we need? All right, guys. I think we can start. Let me just make sure that am I recording? All right, guys, welcome to today's webinar. Today is the 20th of July 2020. So we've got a couple of things to talk about because we don't have as many attendees yet. So what we will then do is to have the exact topic covered next week. So, but now it's more important to actually cover the trade ideas as well as strategies and for the week ahead. Okay, so yeah, it's just us today, you and me, Alfred. So then what we can actually do is to go through the trades and to discuss your trades as well that are pending, especially the one that we discussed today and mentioned that we need to monitor your Euro USD and your GBP AUD. So what to do with them. At the moment, I have just released another trade idea on trading dot as well, and that is for GBP CHF. It did go out up quite a bit. I think, let me just check. This is for the 4-hour chart, expecting a buy. It's appreciated by almost 40 pips already from the centroid area. This is for GBP CHF, so I'm expecting more buying sort of opportunity for GBP CHF. We're looking at all these resistant area right here. I mean, for if we look at a pattern like this, it's always better for us to yeah, the buy triggered. That's good. You must be on a plus at the moment or not yet? Because you didn't enter at the lower price of a centroid, right? It's a bit later, isn't it? It's the price that I've given on the trading dot. Let me just check. Trading dot. Trading dot. There you go. So here we've got the trading ideas here. So that was 1860. So yes, it just triggered your 1860. Yeah, it's a bit of a, it's playing around at the moment there at the 1860 area. It got triggered. Just want to look at this area and also this area right here as possible turnaround of prices, but the momentum is quite strong. Let us just check again on the upside. If we click on indicators onto the trend, there you go. And go. So you can see that the 4-hour chart not looking that good in terms of the power to enter now. So maybe we've got to wait a little bit, but it's okay overall with GBP CHF. A lot of bullishness at the moment. It is correcting at the moment, the 1-hour chart. So okay, we'll just leave it to correct first, and then we'll see what happens later on. Also because we need to monitor the EuroCat. EuroCat, as we have actually talked about. It's got a lot of potential to the upside, but it's correcting. You've got the higher high already going on and also the higher low. So we just want prices to actually go through the 55.60 and above so that it reaches the TP2 area. They're giving you about 80 pips. Once it does that and it has gone higher, then it's easier for it to go higher as well, and less resistance, less correction. So this is for the Euro CAD. Are you actually on a Euro CAD 1860? No, yet. Okay, yeah. So that you're talking about GBP CHF. You are not on a Euro CAD, right, Alfred? You're actually on the. I mean, what's pending at the moment now is your Euro USD 2 on your sell, GBP AUD on your buy, and also now you're on EuroCAD as well. Okay, so EuroCAD is on a buy. Okay, this one here is looking good actually for the EuroCAD because it's just gone quite high. The 3 MAs as well is looking good. So we just want to have that momentum maintained. We went into earlier AUD USD buying as well, but it's proving to be quite good. Not too bad, but again, it needs to go above this area right here. Let us go to your Euro USD, okay, Alfred, because this is the most important thing. EuroCAD, yeah, it's correcting at the moment. So, I mean, because if we analyze something on the 4-hour chart or a daily, usually we will get some correction, but we need to decide on your individual correctiveness, whether the level of loss is exactly what you have planned or not. If not, it has to be closed. So that is the most important thing. But most of the pairs that we've looked at and it corrected and all that, it is actually moving higher as well. Especially, I think it was the GBP and the AUD crosses. We still have AUD. Majority of AUDs are going to experience a lot of upward movement, but again, now it is going sideways. We've got AUD, we've got GBP, and we've got Euro. These three are expected to have more bullishness, so we want to be very careful and we want to ride the trend, obviously. So here on GBP CHF, okay, it's running slow. With Euro CAD, we have got the stochastic here. I'll take this one away and let's look at the average movement, directional movement index. It's not bad for EuroCAD on the daily in terms of momentum going up, but now as we look at Euro USD, there seem to be a bit of a it's maybe due for a bit of correction as well. But so as long as the highs are higher, it just got higher and higher. And now basically the euro has got more power to the upside, mainly because of all the rush of money going into the eurozone, especially the PPP program. So that will still go on, and there's a lot of money expected for repairing the damages and all that. So it's going to create a lot of volatility, but of course, more than volatility, a lot of liquidity into the eurozone and euro basically. So that's giving a lot of flow of money in, and that usually brings the market up. Okay, so that is for the euro. Let's look at your euro USD and try to look at, because your position is on the sell, and at this moment of time we want to look at how we can actually cut the the losses area once it actually corrects to the upside. So how much more it could go to the upside, and then we want to also look at the downside, because you are on a sell. So how much more it goes against your direction. Here it's on a 4-hour chart. Very clearly here you can see it's all higher highs, higher lows and higher highs. You got all these ABCD going up. So there's still momentum to go to the upside. But clearly on the 4-hour chart, for example, it's quite clear that you've got a standalone right there. So if at all it were to go up more, causing you more loss because you are on a sell, right, for the Euro USD. So if at all it's going to go upwards much more, it would probably go towards the 1458. So here, for example, it will go up to another 30 plus pips. So your 30 plus pips is, now let me just check. Okay. If you see the big picture as well, you have got a very strong resistance there. So this was the resistance that you talked about as well, I remember. So for now, it's still manageable with the 30 plus pips for it to actually go up around that area, but it's probably going up to that area because of this very big fall as well. So here, this is what we want. We want it to actually just burst out of this area, but then it has to mature. It has to, what do you call that? Be in a ripe situation, because a ripe situation meaning that now, for example, it is still quite unripe for it to go up, you see. So let me just see, you send me something. Okay, yeah, I'm looking at your screenshot you sent me on Telegram. So you have got GBP you got 5 trades in total. All right, your equity is not bad actually. Still on the, it's on the 9.7 despite all this, because it has reduced quite a bit as well. So you have, the Euro USD sell has reduced tremendously because it was on a 500 plus, I remember, loss. I know it is still there. Sorry, 472. That's your second Euro USD. Okay. GBP CHF, we have to look at that as well. Euro CAD. Okay, not bad for the Euro CAD. It will offset some, if it, once it goes into its direction of buy, then you might see that it could actually cover the others for you. GBP AUD, your biggest one is your Euro USD at the moment. Okay. So let's look at this Euro USD, because you've got two trades Euro USD in the same direction. If you have had one on a buy, it probably already, sort of cushion the losses, but okay. So now you've got Euro USD on the sell on two. One is on a 262 loss. The other one is about 472. So you are, let me just check. Okay, about 700 from there. So it's okay, a big portion of that. So that's why we have to repair that. And we have to see what goes where in terms of price for Euro USD. Like now, for example, it's at 1.1427 area. Okay, it is doing, the trend wise is clear, it's on the upside, and it's doing a bit of a correction at this moment of time. So what we want for your Euro USD, the clearest thing to do is not to actually have them close for now. So you, even though it is, reasonably, I would say it's big on the 472 side of it, but because we are in this situation where you have that, at least you've got a bit of a hope. So that actually means that this is basically what's saving you from not closing that. If, for example, we have support here and it is, continuing the uptrend, and we don't have this big resistance here. This resistance here is close to about 800, close to 900. So it's about 850 plus pips downwards. Okay, so that's quite a significant one. We haven't even checked whether there were any other more significant fall. You see, all these area has actually been a lot of resistant area. Even now where price is at this area right here, and that is all the fall that has actually happened all throughout the time until it goes to the bottom of the price area. So it's looking like this is basically what makes us decide that we don't actually close the trade, mainly because it is approaching that area. So what we can also do is to look into the stocks. Let me just show you stochastics indicator. So once we look at this, let's say you are on the daily chart. Okay, we go over daily first. You see, use the stochastics in looking at whether or not the price can reverse, whether there is a divergence or not. So here you see the price here was it is going up, right? and then you have a peak here, which is a high here, and then you've got another high here. But the peak went higher. So this peak went higher than this one. But then when you look at the stochastic on the exact area, the peak, the current peak went lower than the previous peak. And this one went higher than the previous peak. So if you connect the two dots, this one shows upward movement, okay? And this one shows downward movement. All right, so they are in the same area, okay? And because of this, because now price is moving upwards, and because there is a divergence between this and this shows that there is a possibility of it coming downwards. And that is one of the main reasons for us not to actually close your Euro USD at this moment of time. So I think most likely it will actually reverse the price to come downwards. And once it actually does that, then we want to see what is the power of the downward move. So the good thing about the power for the downward move is this very long candle here. So you definitely have got some potential of a drop of at least 150 pips. Okay, so at least 150 pips. So then we want to measure, but this is on a daily chart though, so we want to measure all this downward move on the 4-hour chart as well, okay, and the 1-hour chart. So here, okay, good, we have that same candle there, you see, okay, downwards. All right, that is a 40, that's 40 pips. Okay, it looks the same, but we are measuring it by time frame, so that you've got 40 pips there. But it does signal a lot of fall of prices, so that is good. Okay, so you've got, yeah, just got a lot of those. Okay, on the 1-hour chart, okay, I've got all the three EMAs there. We have got this area here again. It's a lot of fall. Okay, this is just 1-hour chart that we're checking now. As you can see, you've got all the big falls here as well. So it is actually giving us a lot of hints that it is the price is visiting bearish areas. Okay, so that's a good thing. So okay, I think it's wait and see for that, Alfred, for your Euro USD. Let me just check whether we have got any one or not. Oops. Okay. No, still just you and me, Alfred. Okay, yeah, so there you go. So for Euro USD, okay, we are actually at the right place. We'll just leave it as it is. We cannot do anything at the moment, but it is looking good in terms of what's going on in the chart, because you got a lot of possibility of price falling. So we leave the Euro USD on, okay? I don't think we need to close anything at this moment of time, but you've got your GBP CHF got triggered. It is on a small loss at the moment. You have, do you have your limit on losses for GBP CHF, Alfred? The rest, you all have, you have stop loss on all of them, right? Or not? Because the big ones, Euro USD, make sure your stop loss is a little bit bigger. You have room for them, okay? Because I see the potential of it falling, so we want to not have any stop loss trigger for your Euro USD. So make sure both your Euro USD, which are the biggest chunk there, we want to monitor the Euro USD properly, and then we will go on to GBP AUD as well as Euro CAD. I'm not that worried about Euro USD as well, not so much, because I'm looking at the chart. It seems okay. Euro CAD, you have not set your SL. Okay, you can set a little bigger, I think, your Euro CAD as well, because the only time that I can say you can set your SL a little bit bigger is when the trend is really strong. Okay, so the trend for Euro CAD as well is looking quite good, especially on a daily chart. So the daily chart has offset, the direction for the entire EuroCAD. So the EuroCAD is definitely moving to the upside as well. And we've got a lot of euro crosses, but not all euro crosses are on the upside. So that's why you have to be very careful. But euro cat in particular, yes, also because of what's going on with oil. So oil is impacting Canadian dollar on the downside. So that is giving us more room for the euro to go up. So they are pumping money into the eurozone. Euro will be going up. And then they are reducing, whether it's increasing output or something that is not very positive in the oil type market is expected to come out. So that will then pressure. If more oil news that are negative, then this will actually help your euro cat to go up even more. But then from the charts perspective, that is from the fundamental perspective. On the chart perspective, it looks like it may actually have a little bit of correction, but let us evaluate your correction as well. Okay, so here you see you have got a hint from the candlestick pattern itself that you have got a pin bar type pattern, which basically tells us there may be a correction due because the buyers are getting very, very tired to go to push the prices up. So that basically means that we are expecting a bit of correction. So how do we confirm this correction? Is through the candlesticks, as I've mentioned to you, also because of the price now, it's very close to 5500 psychological level as well. As you can see, the wick itself stopped at the 55.75, which is very close to the 55.80 psychological level as well. So then this needs to be added on to the, what needs to be added onto this confirmation is your oscillator, your stochastic. Okay, so if you go to stochastic, then click just OK. You want to then see whether they are divergence. Okay, so here on the daily chart, for example, you can see that this is the peak for this one here. Okay, this one here is the peak for somewhere here, right? So this is a high, this is a high, this is a high, and this is a high as well. Okay, give me a second. Let me. Okay, so here, for example, it looks like there is a bit of a divergence. How? Because you see this peak here and this peak here. This peak is higher than this one, but this peak here and this peak looks like they're on the same level. Okay, so they're they're exactly on the same level, and this one is not on the same level. So here on the chart, it looks like you have a higher high, but then on the stochastic, it looks like you have got a high that is at the same level. So this is divergence because they don't match, they don't show the same thing. So that's why now you get that candle as well, which then tell us that yes, there may be a correction coming down. So how far does a correction can come down to? You can actually use Fibonacci as well. You can also look at the power of the bearish candle, as you can see this one here. Also, you have got longer ones, so you can still come down to about 100 plus pips. So we can actually expect more. So at least you know that, okay, you've got correction, but in terms of trend, it is still it is still strong to the upside. It is still overall on a buy for the EuroCAD. So EuroCAD as well, you don't do anything with it. You have to leave it, but you need to make sure that your stop loss can cushion it, okay, not too close as well, because as you can see just now, you've got your long candle right there. The long candle itself is hinting us that it's about 130 pips or so. So that actually means that you can expect about 130 pips down. So then your losses needs to sustain that 130 pips down. So it depends how much you are actually trading as well on EuroCAD per pip. The SL, when you do your SL, basically you have no SL with your EuroCAD, right? Okay, so let's say it is actually going to mirror this candle here, coming downwards is about 140 pips. So because it's 140 pips downwards, where is your entry again for your EuroCAD? What's your entry for EuroCAD? So we have to set SL for EuroCAD For EuroCAD, you and the rest, okay, we are sure of the, not sure, but we've got high probability of the trend. So that's okay. So, but we need to look at GBP CHF separately. Your entry is 5560. Yes. Okay. So 5560 is here. Um, okay. 5560 and okay. And now it has gone down already to 71 pips down already. And let's say if I go down a little bit more, then your price is at 1.53 44. So let's say you put your stop loss at 1.5340 for now. We just want it to be big. It doesn't mean that you put that and then you just wait for it to hit. No, because at the moment it's just a trend wise is quite strong. So make sure you got a bit of a room. Even if you want to put it a bit lower as well is probably better, just in case, you know, because sometimes what can happen is that a big long candle will come through and then hit USL, but then right after that it start bouncing upwards. So we want to make sure. So you got a power of the candle right there. That's 137. 5346. 5340. Let's say you can even put it at 5300. 5300. Yeah. 1.5300 is your stop loss for your euro cap. We are putting this not to have it hit there exactly. Okay, we put it. We want it. We want to have more room because your trend for euro cap is quite strong. Okay. All right. Good. So that is sorted out for the euro cap. Now let's look at your GBP CHF. Also, you have got no stop loss, so we need to look at GBP CHF. So okay, let's look at GBP CHF. You see all the GBPs are definitely looking quite bullish. We have got, let me just check as well. Okay, so your GBP CHF, let me just check. Okay, so GBP CHF, let me just check. It is still looking very, very bullish. GBP CHF increment of bullishness has actually increased from the Asian session right up to the European American session as well. It's only building up, building up. So GBP CHF is looking very, very bullish. As you can see, GBP USD as well that I have is already looking very bullish. If we go on to, let's say, Action Forex just as a, yeah. So GBP CHF bullish on the 1 hour. We have GBP CHF number 3 on the daily chart on the top movers, and it is showing, you know, quite clear signs of more buying. All the GBPs you can see quite clear. The good thing though is that we have GBP USD on all 4 dots. We have GBP CAD all 4 dots as well, and all the GBPs are on the plus. So here we go. We have got very strong uptrend for GBP CHF. We need to confirm now. Hence the reason we need to look at it from our perspective using our strategies as well. Okay, so GBP CHF. Okay, so there you go. GBP CHF, as you can see on the 4-hour chart, the ADX is not very strong. The candles are quite strong. So what we need to do is to also apply the stochastic to see whether or not we have correction, because your GBP CHF, okay, GBP CHF is on a buy, right? So, okay, we want to see whether we have correction or not. Let's go to the 1-hour chart. 1-hour chart is showing very, very clear signs of upward movement. Trend, as you can see, very strong. 1.1873. So the closest one, your psychological level is your 1.1818. Okay, so let's see. And that mirrors exactly on the dot of that previous resistance right here. So we may have a correction coming very, very soon to come downwards. But again, overall, let's see, trend-wide, it is actually looking strong to the upside. This is a new uptrend building up. But the good news is that as it goes up, or whether it corrects or not, it doesn't matter. But then as it goes up and pierces through this area, this zone, then you have got definitely more room to the upside. That resistance area is at 1900 anyway, I mean closer to 1900. But GBP definitely got building up new trend though, building up of new upward type movement. Definitely has got to do with the current Brexit and other things as well. And with that, it is actually going upwards quite a lot at this moment of time. Okay, it is looking quite healthy in terms of an upward type movement, even though you have got all these EMA lines. But then again, these kind of movements to the upside does actually get influenced by many factors that we cannot control. So it is looking like it's got the possibility of doing that. On the daily chart, if we draw this triangle type pattern, okay, so we can get an idea of how prices may be trading. Okay, so will it be trading in a consolidating manner or not? Let's see, how will it trade. It would be trading like a bit of consolidation until it reaches close to this area, and then it breaks upwards. Okay, so if it does break upwards as well, it might follow certain area to actually make the correction. But now it's very important for us to see what is the likelihood of it going towards your trade, because your trade for GBP is on the buy. So here we are, here we do not have very significant resistance and making it fall a lot. There's more upward type movement. That is a good sign, but we wanted to break that trend line, the yellow trend line as well. And if it does actually break it and then reverse a little bit here, start playing around here and then zoom upwards more, that would be an ideal scenario that we want for the GBP especially. Okay, Alfred, you're clear with it, yeah, so far? All good? Good. Yeah, because it is actually going up right now. It's just that it is going up right now, but it is very, very close to the 1.1880. So I'm expecting it to actually reverse. But how do we confirm that? Is we use our stochastics as well. Let's use our stochastics. We want to see whether or not we've got a bit of divergence going on. Let's see. Okay, here very clear divergence. So that means it's very close to a little bit set. You said at 40 pips, the TP. Okay, but if you are actually on winning, maybe you want to close it a little bit first and then you write the trend again later on, and you can actually buy at 1.1890, for example, or 1.1910, for example. Then we can see more to the upside. Okay, the reason is because we have divergence, and this one here is on the 4-hour chart. That peak right there to this area right here, price is going up, but we haven't got a peak yet because it needs to go up, reverse, and come down at least by 2 candles. Then you can say this is a high and this is a high. But now it's not yet, but just the shape of it itself, you already see some divergence. That's a higher low. Okay, that peak went down to this area, but this one here and here is still steady. Okay, even though if it goes higher, it's still upwards, and that upwards movement is a divergence. It's totally opposite of this downward type yellow line that I have drawn. Okay, so for GBP yeah, I think it's probably best for you to close, and then you can enter a pending order of 1.1910, for example, for you to buy again, or even 1.1930 for later. It's entirely up to you, but it's probably better. We can actually test and see, whether or not the stochastic has been quite good, but it is signaling a little bit of of divergence at the moment, which also means reversal. Okay. All right, good. So that is clear as well for you on GBP CHF. Euro USD, you're clear with it as well. GBP CHF, and also you've got your Euro CAD. I've also explained that. GBP AUD, you're on a buy. Okay. So we need to look at that as well. At least it's good that you're on a buy on the majority of it. You're on the right direction. This is a good thing. Okay. Even for your Euro USD, looks like it's got potential for it to turn around, to go towards your direction and come down. So there you go. GBP CHF, we have got that. Okay, we're looking at GBP I'll put this one here. So it's got two of these. Yes, GBP GBP CHF here. This is where I've drawn the ABCD pattern, so you can see this is on the 4-hour chart. Okay, we'll leave that. We can always exit first and come back later, or put a pending order would probably be better for you, Alfred. Okay, I'm just leaving this one here and looking at the TP area, but of course it will go up and down and have some corrections going on. Okay, so GBP AUD. And you've closed which one, Alfred? Which one did you close? The one that we talked about, yeah? Okay, good. So you've closed your GBP CHF. Yeah, good. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's better. So then it will, free up some space there as well for you in terms of your equity and all that. It's looking not too bad. You're on the 9.7. Something will pick it up more as it goes towards your two sales, especially your Euro USD, and also the Euro CAD. So these three positions, your two positions on your Euro USD on a sell, and then your Euro CAD on the up, it's actually in a very strong position in terms of because Euro USD is looking like it's got the resistance, but like I've mentioned, all the flow is going into Euro for a buy, but it does not mean that all the pairs involving Euro will be for a buy. So that's why the Euro USD is quite different at this moment of time. But again, it is also following the corrective move of the other Euro crosses. So this is also a very good position. So that's why we have to consider all these, and then we can make a better decision to maintain it. And then we don't need to worry about it too much if we are actually in the right direction. And there are a lot of backup reasons of why we maintain that position. This is the most important thing. Okay, so good. Now let's just look at GBP AUD. Right, GBP AUD on a buy. Okay, moving upwards quite rapidly, but the thing is that it's got all these wicks up here. It went upwards to there. Okay, it's got a bullish candle here. Okay, let's see. GBP AUD. Let me check on my screen as well, on the other screen. GBP AUD, yep. Up. GBP AUD. Yeah, there's a lot of movement to the upside, a lot of volume as well. Okay, so here on the daily chart, it looks, very much to the downside. We got all this entanglement of line, and then you see there is a pickup of a single bullish candle moving at the moment, and this is actually a good sign because it may be a new trend, to the upside, GBP AUD. Because if you go to the daily, yeah. The daily has got a bit of a divergence going on because you got this peak here going up, but this no divergence is going up as well. Sorry, Okay, not too bad. Okay. No divergence means it is actually going towards its direction now. Okay. This one here, perhaps. Okay. Just want to see the overall picture first. Okay. You see it on the daily chart, you've got your bullishness right there as well. So that means the correction may actually happen. But again, here we have a divergence on the daily chart though. So that's down and that's up. So that actually means, yes, it's all the way through downtrend here. It may reverse because of the divergence, reverse meaning reverse to the upside. So GBP AUD, we may have to think of closing it with a loss early because of all the reasons that we have talked about here for your GBP AUD. Okay, so GBP AUD, because you are on a buy. No, you are actually there's no need to actually close because you are on the buy. Yes, sorry. So yeah, you are actually on a good position. Let's see how it pans out with all the trend as well and everything else. You should be okay. Your three trades, especially, which are the three largest losses as well. Your Euro USD, two positions on your sell and your GBP AUD on the buy. Okay. Okay, cool. I think, yeah, you're not in a very, even though you've got your negatives right there, you've got enough equity to cushion it. But the most important is to do this kind of analysis, to look at it from the reversal point of view, and also, especially the reversal point of view, meaning it is expected to reverse, but by how much? And then you can cushion it or not, and how strong the trend is, so that we don't really bother about the correction changing into a change of trend. This is what we don't want. Okay, so there you go. All right, Alfred. So I think, yeah, I think we're quite okay so far. This is a one-to-one troubleshooting session for you. So we can actually see these three trades are very, very important. Your two selling positions, and if it goes back to where we expect it to, then it will, weigh down quite a lot on your equity. Yeah, will be quite good. Okay, Alfred. So I think, yeah, that's all. We can actually quit the session. There's nobody as well. So if you got any questions, you can ask. We will provide this recording as well. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, good. All right. If any questions, as you know, you just message me on Telegram as well. So we'll end the session for now. I'll send you the recording as well. Is that okay? Yeah. Perfect. Okay. No problem, man. No problem. Alfred, take care. Thank you very much. Have a good night. I hope you, I'm sure you guys enjoyed your celebration of your daughter's 16th birthday. Wish her the very best as well. Yeah, good, good. Okay, perfect. Yeah, let's hope your three trades do well, and we are in a good position. So let's see how it pans out in the market. Okay, all right, Alfred. Take care. Have a good night, and we'll speak again tomorrow. Bye bye. Ciao.